Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. Today's an interesting video here. It's been a request from a number of people actually in our fantastic subscriber list. First of all, thank you so much for your support of this channel, guys. Overwhelming really. When I first started this channel with Steve a few months ago, we were sort of having a target of maybe 1,000 by the end of the year. But we're slowly but surely on track to potentially getting to 5,000 by the end of November already. So thank you for your contributions. Thank you so much for being involved in our channel, and hopefully you're enjoying the content. We have much more to give once the studio's finished and everything else is back up and running. When a new laptop arrives and new camera arrives in the next couple of weeks, we will definitely be trying to take this to another level with some live chats and stuff as well. So thank you so much for persevering with us on the journey. Strange audio, there's certain things going wrong with videos, but we hope that you're enjoying it, and more importantly, we don't just want to focus on charts. Of course, we do try to delve into projects in good depth, and especially in the real world kind of scenarios and activities, and a multitude of different projects as well. I think that's the beautiful thing about this space. It's so diverse. It's very hard to keep track of all these things when you're sort of trying to work in full time as well, and doing this as spare time or any breaks that I ever get. I do try to do content for you guys, so hopefully you're enjoying it. But guys, I wanted to bring to your attention portfolio basically. Obviously I've checked off so you can't see my balance kind of thing, but people were asking like, what am I invested in? I don't really like the layout of CoinMarketCap in that aspect. I would have liked to have seen a pie chart or something to showcase like the percentage allocation, not like this, but in more of a circular chart format. But if anyone knows any kind of software or application that might help me a bit further with that, let me know. But I use this mainly because one, it's a great source of information, and of course the charts in general of information of price points, etc. But two, for me, was entering, not necessarily really majorly for like tax purposes or anything like that, but to really study our movements in the chart. So this is mine personally. Steve has his set up as well. Maybe we'll do a combined one when we both get together in a week or so's time. But I guess just reiterating, like these aren't really necessarily the biggest bags, as it were, per account. It's more like obviously various variables of like how much the price point has fluctuated and everything like that. But what you can see, of course, here is the average buy price. I think one or two may be slightly inaccurate in the sense that I just chucked in one big number when I was originally setting these up. But majority of these assets, I've gone through every individual one and updated basically every single transaction that I've ever made for each of these assets. And to be honest, it did take a lot of time. It was quite a tedious activity. But what I would say is it was very beneficial eventually to do it. So any spare time or 2 or 3 in the morning I was bored or something, can't sleep, I'd sit there and update assets. So just really a reflection really in this video, guys, as to what I'm holding. I mean, I've got quite a lot on here for various reasons, and we'll start from the top, guys, and let us know in the comments below if you're holding any of these, if any of these you think are terrible or you think I should be adding some. Definitely shout out, and I'll always be taking a look anyway for video content purposes and research purposes, but for in general aspect of learning is really fundamental to me to keep the knowledge going in this space. But of course, number one at the top here is Harmony One, purely because I got a substantial amount very early on, around this sort of 2.8 cents as an average price. I'd say predominantly majority of them were a lot lower than that, and a bit of a story behind that actually. When I first started with crypto, and literally only probably about a couple of years ago, I think it took me back to 2019. I tried, this is literally how it went. I put £50 in, I didn't know what I was doing. I thought, I'll start with 50, see how it goes. And it literally dropped for like 2 days. And I was like, wow, I'm scared, I'm pulling it back out. So I pulled my 30 odd pound back out of Ethereum, which was the first one I got on Coinbase. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, it's put me off. And of course lockdown happened. It gave me an opportunity to understand more about investments and crypto and stock markets in general, how to read charts as best as I could, and understand, more importantly, what blockchain was and all the different projects, why they're so interesting. So I spent a lot of time watching other channels, some great channels, Cheeky Crypto, for example, Operation Crypto, a bit of BitBoy. I do like some of his stuff for sure, especially when he goes more topic focused. There's a multitude of other ones like Blockchain Andy for like more of the little gems and stuff. So I've got a lot of credit and gratitude to a lot of these channels for introducing me to many of these projects, as well as you guys out there more recently, of course, adding to my asset folder. And there's a general mix here, guys. I've got a general mix of long-term and short-term holds. But for Harmony One, I reinvested back into Ethereum around sort of February time or March time in 2020. And this was when there was a crash occurred. And I was sort of like, okay, well, I've understood and learned a bit more about it and where we are position-wise in the chart. So I bought Ethereum and I left it for a bit. I bought a bit of XRP and left that as well. And then Ethereum shot up. I think I bought like Ethereum, like one Ethereum at like £75, I think it was at the time, which is, quite risky in the sense like, and I'm open, guys. I was in quite a bit of like, or coming out of debt, which I've just come out of thanks to the help with crypto and other stuff, and only invest in things you can afford to lose, as they say. But for me, I was like coming out of debts for one reason or another. I didn't have a substantial amount of money to invest in this, so I had to be really cautious and think, right, well, I've got some money spare that I can really do something with, or try to do something. And of course, over those few months, Ethereum shot up. It went to something like $2,000, so it was a massive intake on that. And I thought, wow, this is incredible. I sold the entire thing. I wasn't really emotionally attached to it at all, and I literally threw it into Harmony One, VeChain, a bit more in XRP, and there's a couple of other ones as well, like XLM and stuff. The rest followed kind of afterwards. I think I maybe got a small stash of Cardano ADA as well. And at that time, I remember Coinbase not having many listings, so that's why I switched over a lot of it to Binance as an exchange and to get all these other ones. So I basically utilized that big, massive profit I took. Arguably, I could have kept the original £75 or something in Ethereum, who knows, but that was my strategy and it worked so far. I was able to accumulate massive VeChain in one because I felt like, okay, Ethereum will definitely grow, of course, but I think I might get better gains or more gains in these smaller ones, not because they're cheaper and I think, oh, I get loads of them and that appeases my mind in that way, but more about not necessarily price predictions, but seeing where it could go in the big bull run coming up as we are right now. So that strategy worked for me, clearly in the sense that Harmony One now is my top performing asset. I know for a fact it's around 1,000% up from my initial investment, which is incredible, really. I'd never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be in this situation. And of course, there's more to come, in my opinion. I generally believe Harmony One will fly as most of these will. And it's quite mind-boggling, really. I mean, people out there who have loads of money, they probably used to this. For me, I was like, wow, the opportunity is gigantic. There's a short space of time here in this bull run upcoming to take advantage, of course. But for me, it's about taking that top line investment out and reinvesting it in the bear market, if there ever is one. Either way, to be able to pay off things like student loans and car payments and stuff like that all in one hit, obviously after tax and everything, means so much because it gives you even more freedom. You remove yourself even more from a system and you're able to then reinvest in it. Because for me, I'm like, well, I could easily pay stuff off, and in the bear market, when everything drops, just reinvest what I would normally pay in my student loan or anything like this back into this. It's almost like I don't lose out on it. It's just actually got rid of things off my credit file and this, that, and the other quicker. Now, everyone has their own strategy, their own thought process of why they're in crypto and this, that, and the other. I have goals and ambitions. I want a boat because I want to sail or travel the world with my boat, doing the channel. And I also want a lot of money to help with the homeless situation worldwide. As you guys have maybe sort of realised in a few of my videos, I've got a lot of plans and I've actually drawn out a full-on strategy of how that could be done using blockchain, tokenomics of energy sharing and swapping and facilitation of things, transportation on a very unique, efficient and cost-effective scale. So I'm still working on that, but the whole stacking process of like old lorry containers and things like this, re-insulating them, refurbishing them, and I think that I could solve a massive problem in this world which unfortunately you do need money for most of these things. So I have that in the back of my mind that I'm hoping to do that one day, give back to this world that needs a bit of help. Everyone can do what they want with their money. It's not my place to say millionaires or billionaires can do this, they should be doing this. That's for them to decide. For me, that is my goal, that is my aspiration, and hopefully this will work out. But going back to this, guys, so Harmony One, of course, flying up there. It's a real shame I can't show you like a pie chart emphasis of things, but you can see here, these are the top four. Obviously, one XRP, VET, and ADA. Others contribute about 38% of the portfolio. There's a mixture here, really. I was buying Elrond around that sort of $25 mark. I did buy some around the $150, maybe $200 mark, and I wasn't bothered about doing that because I believed in the project for the future. I'm sure it might come down to maybe these prices or lower in the bear market, who knows. But I was buying majority of them around $25, and so far, so good. I truly believe Elrond will probably hit those $600, $700 marks later on in this year, and that would be a fantastic return in that aspect as well. Great monetary value, and I'll restake that. I'll literally buy it back when it comes back down, if it ever does, and be staking the hell out of it for sure. And then there's a multitude of different ones. So DOT again was quite a pricey one. I'm fortunate to have got a good bag of that around this sort of $26 average price. I was getting a lot of them at like maybe $7 or $9, and then I was like, do you know what am I happy to do here? What do I think DOT's going to get to? And sort of thinking about that ahead, like what's my maximum? Because you could argue that I could still buy Polkadot at 50. I think that's great value considering where it might be in the future. But right now I'm sort of trying to strategize, like, okay, the defining moment of money, like if I want to hold a whole DOT or part of one, is it better invested there at this stage or somewhere else? So I got in those ages ago. I haven't invested more in DOT since the last kind of correction that we had. What was it, April or May time? And then we got the other ones, guys. So a couple here, Veracity, nowhere near the price points of these. Could you imagine what the holding aspect of these kind of tokens will be? When they hit these kind of prices in the future, maybe like 10 years time or something. Absolutely incredible to be purchasing these amazing projects for such a stupid cost, really. So we're getting a lot of Veracity around this 3-cent average, picking up a lot around 1.5 cents, to be fair, when I first heard about the project. There's a load of other ones here, guys. Obviously I won't go into massive detail of all of them, but maybe some reasoning behind a lot of them as well. I mean, a lot of these around gaming and esports, of course, supply chain, which I know a lot about in the real world. Obviously, the financial institution, everyone's getting their heads around, likes of XLM, XRP, and XDC. There's loads of different other protocols here. XDC is one of my favorite bags. I'm just accumulating as much as possible of that as I can. That is definitely a future hold for me. And you've got things like Zilliqa, obviously well undervalued. Finally, looking like it's moving up. Who knows, we might hit the dizzy heights of 12 cents again soon. Loads of other NFT gaming ones, especially Komi, have a gigantic bag of that. Albeit I'm in negative equity on that one, actually, I believe. Because I just believe, like, I'm just going to accumulate. I don't really care about the price right now. I'm not really looking to sell or trade a Komi unless it goes mental. But I do believe a Komi will be $1 at least one time in the future. It's just begun. There's some great announcements recently of like the Simpsons stuff going on in NFTs and collectibles and things like that. And there's load of protocol ones and infrastructure projects within here as well, like HBAR. Hedera is absolutely phenomenal. I wish I bought more of that, but I'm still pleased that I managed to get a load under 10 cents. And there's new projects in here as well, like XPI. I believe in this one massively as the future develops with DeFi space wallets and the other financial objectives that a lot of these projects have moving forward. And particularly interested in, as you know, IoT and AI related projects. Again, Fetch AI one I wish I kind of added a bit more to, but I'm still happy with that, and I will consider this a very good investment considering we're already quite well up on that one. But yeah, again, IOTX, I'm really just bagging this one for the future. I can see this being like an IOTA in a few years time, price point wise, and maybe even beyond that. So it's a great opportunity to get involved in something very, very similar, a very better price point to accumulate more and more. Stellar XLM, still underperforming in my opinion. Majority of mine were bought at a higher stage, albeit that I did buy a lot of Stellar under 20 cent mark as well. So I'm just accumulating small amounts of that and XRP every month, literally not a massive amount at all, just topping it up every month. I don't really care about trading those particular tokens at all this year or whenever, until CBDCs fully take control and everything like that. And then I've got a few like KCS, Crow, of course, the big sort of foundational assets that you would find particularly on their exchanges. I think this is important because more and more people come onto the exchange, the more important it is. And I was just buying KCS up at random prices like $10, $6, all these kind of things. So I do believe, maybe not massively this year, I do think it will have a great year, but I think in the future, as the development of the tokens become more and more obvious and more engaging with everyone in the exchange side of things, you're going to have a lot more money flowing through, and a lot of people will be using these kind of tokens to basically kind of replace the system of like fees and things like that, as well as I'm sure being at some point, no doubt in my mind that some of these exchanges will become banks in the future, and who knows, these might become their coins. So you have to keep an eye out for that. Loads of other AI related ones like Matrix AI, I've got that in staking at the moment. Energy Web Token, of course, I talk about that one a lot. I'm accumulating that as much as I can, even if it's like only a handful of them every month, because I believe in the project and the future of where energy is going in that aspect. Loads more AI ones, of course. MTV's one I've added recently, thanks to you guys out there promoting this as an option of the People's Crypto episode that we did a while back. So I've added that to my portfolio. I still believe this is a great price point. Obviously, it would have been great to have got it earlier this year when the likes of Cheapy Crypto were bringing this to everyone's attention. But here I am. I'm bagging it as much as I can whenever I can. And there's loads of other ones here for the future as well, like Ubix Network, anything DAG related I'm very interested in. And I'm accumulating as much as possible with an anticipation in my mind that maybe in 5-10 years time this might be $1. And if that is the case, then it's party time, that's for sure. Loads of other gaming ones like UOS and some other governance tokens that come free from staking, like this one and GZIL, of course, which I think has stopped now. So most of these are, of course, like average zero price because I haven't paid for them. So obviously that is massively up, and it's free money that I can either reinvest or wait until they're fully used in their system and see where they go. Because I think ZIL actually went up to something like $500-600 earlier this year. It was crazy. So something like that might happen again, and that's just free allocation of money that I can either reinvest back into GZIL again or put it elsewhere. There's a couple of other exchange aspects or wallets like Clever, which I'm really interested in watching that progress over the next few years. So real estate ones like Alicia and Labs, not a massive bag of Labs yet. I feel like I've got a lot of time, or a bit more time, to accumulate that. I'll probably be wrong now I've said that. But Labs and Alicia are very important to me from the real estate aspect of how we're going into tokenomics and smart contracts and things like that. Electroneum, mainly because of the emphasis of things they're doing with CBDCs, especially here in the UK for the Pound Foundation. And new projects as well, again, like Legacy. I'm really interested in. I've got some NFT related ones just to see how they go. I haven't got massive bags, I'm just going to literally leave them. Or I might even actually utilize them for NFTs because I haven't got an NFT yet. And I'm looking for ones particularly in the sport arena, particularly football, whenever they launch those in like proper football ones like Premier League and stuff. Don't know what that's doing there. $1 of that. Player token was pretty useless at the moment, but I've got a substantial amount of that one. Just in the anticipation it might do something in the future. It may just completely obliterate itself, who knows. But that's the beauty of it, guys, is diversifying your portfolio. Some of them may work, some of them may not. And I'm not angry about that because I've got really good ones here, and I've got some ones that I feel like have great potential, but like higher risk in the sense that they probably might not turn into anything. But again, scalability of how much you want to put in and being clever about it is really important. And I have re-added TKY. I did sell that a while back and made some good money off that, and pulled it into other projects. And now, because of the big dips that we've had on TKY recently, I've been buying back into that one because I do believe in that. And Spark Point is another one I've added small bags of as well, and I will continue to add more and more as we go along, especially ones I believe in for the future where they're very sort of low priced, but I know that probably in the future they might get to that 1 cent or 10 cents or $1 mark realistically. So that's where my portfolio is, guys. I think I've not missed too many Go Chain on there as well, of course. Solve through the healthcare, that's had a bumpy ride quite recently, and I very much enjoyed trading that one over the last few weeks. It was absolutely fantastic, bit of fun. But the rest of them are very much holders or being realistic with price points I want to take specific amounts out at specific times in specific areas. So there's a good mix, and that's what I'd recommend to everyone. It's not financial advice, obviously, but diverse your portfolio. More importantly, do research on your portfolio and what you're invested in. I don't have meme coins here, as you've probably seen. I'm not interested one bit in any of that nonsense. Go ahead if you want to, enjoy yourselves, but not for me, thank you. It's too volatile. I think it's too much of a gambling aspect, personally. Those that are knowing what they're doing will, of course, make use of the money that they make. But a lot of people out there will just continuously chase money backwards and forwards and end up messing it up most of the time. So that is down to you guys out there for sure. I'm not against it because everyone's here for different reasons. But for me personally, I'm just interested in fundamentals and things that are quite interesting, and certainly with like the real world aspect and utility aspect as well. So hopefully that's been a bit interesting for you guys. And my little story of how I got into crypto, and of course since then opening up this channel, which again I'm grateful for you guys to help support us in that remit. I've done the diploma recently on crypto and blockchain. I'm waiting for a link actually. Some people keep asking where did you do the course and stuff. I'm just waiting for the link, and I will literally put that into the community section as well as links on some of these pages as well moving forward once I have that. It's just basically a little referral link. It helps us both out actually in regards to helping support the channel further. You don't have to pay anything extra, obviously, you just pay for the course. But for me, it's like a bit of a referral thing to help the channel, but also encourage other people to educate themselves in this space if they want to. It's really early days still, particularly from the learning aspect and career aspect. I mean, you never know what it will open up. And we're entering a different world now, guys, where play to earn becomes people's livelihood, all of these kind of crazy things. You could sit at home, play to earn, and that's your job. And the whole tokenomics aspect, it's a new economy coming, and with that comes new jobs. And I'm truly grateful for entering this space, for being a part of it. Of course I want to make some money. I want to help the world be a better place in some way, and help my situation as well, of course, and people around me if I can, and take everything to another level. But for me, I'm enjoying it. That's the most important thing. And I'm loving the interaction with you guys. So once again, thank you for being a part of that. And like I said, if you have any questions on any of the ones that I've got in my portfolio or Steve has in his, or if you think I should be adding different ones or extra ones, let me know what you think those should be, and let us know which ones I should be trying to get rid of and why. And maybe I'll think about that as well. But in general, I think I'm very happy with the portfolio that I have. Of course, I would love to have more and more, but financially it's not possible. And hopefully the idea behind this is to make loads of money in the next few months, reinvest it, and have a load of money to do it next time round in this bear market, so that when we're talking about this in a few years time, we're laughing at even these silly prices we're seeing on the screen right now. And guys, I hope to all of you that you have success in your journey in crypto and investment. Do your own research, avoid scams, be sensible. And guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next Wells of Wall Street video. Bye bye.